For our mic test, I just want to say that I'm going to take silence now, and then shh is redundant because that's what I'm taking silence means.
I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't sure if you were going to comply. You know, maybe you were looking up an "Am I the Asshole" post and didn't hear that I had started recording.
Oh, snap!
Shots
He's got
fired.
me.
So for this mic test for this very first episode, do you want to just like workshop like what kind of an intro we're going to have to the?
Yeah, that's fun.
Show?
Sure.
Okay.
So I was thinking just like hello, fellow. Actually, maybe I didn't have anything.
Well, actually, so I didn't mean how are we going to introduce ourselves. I meant the thing that we put at the beginning of each episode.
Oh,
You know, like welcome to the PreCure review. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. Maybe just the Beastie Boys girls.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think we have permission to use the Beastie Boys music in our
absolutely we have not secured those rights. But like, okay, so like what kind of a mood are we going for?
Probably like upbeat.
Okay.
And excited. I guess those are kind of the same.
So like what kind of instruments do you associate with upbeat?
Drums? And trumpets.
Okay, but then we need, like, words as well. So, like, hooray! It's time for a PreCure review.
Something about... Okay, listen. Peek behind the curtains for our Patreon folks. I write songs constantly. I'm almost always singing about what I'm doing. Something about sitting here in front of Joel trying to come up with a song is giving me anxiety.
You're freezing. You're Eminem during the rap battle during, what was that movie?
8 Mile?
Yeah.
Oh, it's looking like 8 Mile now.
We could just embrace our nerdiness and see if we can come up with a parody of a known song. You know, like we could take Baby Got Back and turn it into like Baby Got Shine or something, you know?
Futari wa Katwin.
Oh, yeah, okay.
How's that?
Okay, that's not too bad. So we need drums, we need trumpets. And
Trumpets.
It's very late, folks. We are trying to record this episode so I can get it edited fairly quickly and get it out. So maybe we'll just go with the temporary opening in this first episode, and then maybe we'll never change it and we'll stick with the temporary opening for the end of time. And this has been your mic test. Wind and sails. Wind and sails never fails. Wind and sails never fails. What rhymes with adventure? Quench your thirst.
We should mention...
Journey, Werney, Bernie, Gurney, Herney. Learny? Turney. Werney, Journey, Kearney, Bernie. Churney, Perny.
Oh my god.
Querney.
Just sing. It's okay.
I don't sing.
Listen. The rhymes will find you. And remember, things don't have to rhyme exactly. Most song lyrics don't.
Oh, this season's gonna be huge. That's right. It's Tropical Rouge.
Oh, that's Lice. I like that.
Oh, that's Lice. I know you meant nice. I'm just saying it's funny whenever we slightly mispronounce, because when I go back and edit, I always go... Do we ever figure out what we're going to call people? Are they still fellow adventurers?
Yeah, so the fellow adventurers. Oh, I asked you which of us was doing the intro.
Yeah, I said you can.
Fuck. Hello, fellow adventurers of what was the city called in this show?
Did we ever get a name for the city?
I don't think so.
Hang on. Okay, so we come over here and we go Tropical Rouge, produced by its initial SOT, production. Okay, synopsis. Ozora. Ozora. It's Aozora. Aozora. I think.
Aozora.
And we are entering the mic test zone, even though we're pretty sure that the mic has been thoroughly tested. But it's always good to have a little bit of extra footage for the patrons.
Absolutely.
So, Catherine, do you have any kind of question that you'd like to lead?
Which of our pets is the most likely to become a PreCure? Like, who has the right spirit for it?
Well, I think Sinatra is too lazy. For those listening who don't know, we have 4 cats and a dog. The dog is a big dog, and he's an old boy, and he's a mix of a lot of different breeds.
He's a boofster, if you will.
Absolutely. Our oldest cat is a tuxedo named Mia. She's like 17 years old. She's the cat grandma. And then we have Sinatra, who's like 15-ish.
Mm-hmm.
She's a tabby. She's our plus-sized cat girl. She doesn't get any exercise. We also have 2 younger cats that we have adopted more recently. Rocket is probably about 5 now. He is an orange tabby. He's also the most aggressive biter of the group, the most playful. And then we also adopted a stray black cat who is very nervous around people, but very loving when she's in the right mood.
We like to call her a Yakuza cat because she makes little tiny like she's tough, but she's not tough.
Yeah, we haven't seen her ever do anything even close to like violence against the other cats. I've never seen her bite or anything. Like the best she'll do is she'll hiss if Rocket pounces on her. Well, anyways, so Sinatra is a little bit too lazy to be a PreCure.
I could see Mia being like the retired PreCure from the previous gen, but she's a little too old. Like she's tired all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Rocket has the right energy for it. He'd be like if Bakugo was a PreCure. But he has the energy, and he would probably jump in and save the day. But I really got to give it to Nemesis, who is my favorite cat.
I was going to give it to Jack.
Okay.
Like dogs like have big PreCure energy is the thing.
Okay. Now, what kind of cure would Jack be? Would he be the leader? Would he be the the passionate sports player? He'd
be like the one that's always eating.
Okay.
He's like, let's get parfaits.
Okay. And would he help recruit other members, other cures?
Yes, but he'd be overly enthusiastic, and he would ask everyone he met to become a PreCure.
Much like the Luffy, will you be my crewmate sort of a situation. All right.
Absolutely.
I like that. If we personified Nemesis or Nemi, both are fine names for our black cat. But if she were to become a cure, she would be the kind of quiet, bookish one who's very, like, analytical, but not necessarily, like, on the front lines delivering punches and kicks. But I think that's a wonderful team. Now, Jack is, he's like a reddish color with some white spots, so would he be a red cure, do you think?
Yeah, I could see that.
I like it. Now you just pointed out off camera that there's only ever been one black cure, and there's a gacha game where she's no longer even classified as a black colored outfit. So what color would fit Nemi, being that she's a monotone black cat?
Purple?
Purple.
If they refuse to give her black, I think she'd be a purple cure.
Okay, I could see it. But yeah, I think that's been your mic test. A little bit on the shorter side today.
Excellent.
And all right, lead us, our fearless mermaid queen.
Joel, do you, before we head off...
Whoa, I said I had a point I wanted to talk about. Do you remember when I asked you to... We are good to go.
You seeing some squiggles?
I am seeing some squiggles.
Beautiful.
So, I guess we could just do like an abbreviated mic test.
What's your favorite color?
That's such a deep personal question. I mean, I guess I'd go with red. How about you?
Excellent. Red. You are the cure of flame, as we determined last week. My favorite color is purple.
Purple? That's not even what color is that like? Where is it in the rainbow?
It's at the end, you know? Roy G. Red, orange, yellow.
Yeah.
Green, blue, indigo, purple.
No, purple. That's how I learned it in the school that I went to.
Oh, were you perhaps in an American school? I went to a European school.
I went to a European school, you know, where we say words. We
used the Montessori method, which is child-led learning.
Oh, okay.
So I taught myself to say purple.
Perfect.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode. Nope. I stole that from Trey.
The Full Spectrum Podcast.
Oh my god, I have brainworms. Hello, fellow cute citizens of...
Alzora City.
Alzora City. Okay, one more time.
I believe in you. Don't toot. Hello, listeners. Welcome to the mic test. Oh, that doesn't look good. Wait. Okay, so I guess maybe do I turn that back down? There we go. I don't know what Editor Joel's plans are because he and I don't always see eye to eye, but essentially we had some technical difficulties and we have many strings of basically gibberish from yours truly. I think I'm probably going to put those in a second MP3 file, or because there are some people who are sensitive to like the kind of the whining sound that was in the background, I will either put it in its own separate file, or I will put it at the very end of the bloopers and extras. So this is the final mic test, fingers crossed, but it will be the first one that you hear on the bloopers extras because, yeah, that was annoying. I didn't like it, but we've solved the problem. Hopefully.
Good job, Joel. We're so proud of you.
All right, so we're going to do a real quick lightning round mic test. We're going to do a Rorschach test. I'm going to name a character from PreCure, and you're going to tell me the first PG-appropriate thought that you have that comes to mind for that character,
I
okay?
only have PG thoughts about PreCure,
Okay, if I say something like Locke, I don't want you to be like, Daddy Cakes, because, like, you know, what you fanfic about is your own problem.
Why don't we get on with the mic test?
Okay,
Cure Twinkle. The first
energetic.
thing that comes to mind.
I don't know. I was trying to think of like a way to say it, but like occult, I guess, is the word that I was looking for. Okay, now we're gonna go for you. Cure Gelato.
Blue.
Just the color? Okay, that's fine. Hemarine.
Yellow. Squirrel.
Okay.
The first thing to come to mind was actually custard, but I panicked.
Very, very good. Cure Crispy.
I love her.
She has a KFC bucket on her head like a helmet. Now I'm imagining Laura with an eye patch and like a scar and like a cigarette in her mouth.
Write a novel, you goddamn piece of shit.
Whoa!
This episode was the closest Laura has gotten to calling one of the other characters a pathetic, worthless piece of shit.
But at the other end of the... Are you serious? Why am I don't have to do a hand gesture. I could just say...
Sit on your hands.
Sit on... No, I'm not going to. I refuse.
Get under the table. She gives me...
Hello, I am... Chip Barkley, here to deliver all of the good news of the top 11 chips that have ever been eaten in my life.
It's Doritos Madness.
That's right. To replace the March Madness. And who is joining me today?
I don't know any other famous basketball people.
Salsa Susan. That's who you are.
Okay.
Wait, what did I introduce myself as?
Chips Barkley.
Okay, so then why did you
Charles
basketball
Barkley
thing?
is a famous basketball person. He was talking today about how Gonzaga is a really impressive team.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm surprised you were watching anything related to any kind of sports thing.
I wasn't. I have a father.
Wow, okay, calling out us fatherless spawns that came out of an egg, unknowing of what creatures contributed their DNA to our...
Chips Barkley, you came out of an egg?
Yeah,
I don't know if I
did.
can talk to one of you eggies. Amniotic fluid only.
Also, I can't believe that you know some person in Barkley, but you don't know Michael Jordan or LeBron James, the two most famous basketball names ever.
Oh.
You could have been Andre the Giant. He's not a basketball person.
I could have been Space Jam. That's a basketball player, right?
First name Space, last name Jam. 100% funky.
There's one in March Madness called Oral Rogers.
Interesting. Okay. And do you think there's a written Rogers? Like one of them is spoken, but one of them is written, and then the last one is like signed or interpretive danced?
No, but I do think there is an anal Rogers.
Oh.
We're talking Freud's fixations, folks. You've got the oral fixation, the anal fixation.
And the mother fixation. No, I'm just kidding. Mother Rogers has a daycare where he takes care of all of the other basketball players. Yeah, the other Rogerses. Do you have a discussion question for today's episode?
Oh, we come up with those, don't we?
Yeah.
I'll come up with something. I'll improv it.
Okay. That's been your mic test.
Apparently Charles Barkley has been knighted.
Interesting. So we should have been calling him Sir Charles Knightley. And we're recording, actually.
Oh, cool.
You decided, right as I was hitting record, you decided to say something about Charles Barkley.
Apparently we're sports people now.
Apparently.
I guess.
And this girl is upperclassman. Oh, no. And this upperclassman who has shown up is Asuka Takizawa. I'm not great at Japanese last names. I'm sorry, everyone.
Do you want to try it again, just more smoothly? Asuka Takizawa?
Okay. Do you think Yukari and Laura would get along, or do you think they'd be too oppositional?
No, Akira absolutely would be like, we're friends. I'll do what you want, Laura.
Yeah, but Yukari, Macaron, and Laura.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't forget to Tropica Shine, everyone.
You remembered.
Welcome to the mic test. I'm Laura Smithereens.
Hello, Laura Smithereens.
What's your name?
That's a great question. Are you a wrestler?
Yes, I absolutely am. Oh yeah!
So are you the hero character?
You have a name.
Character?
Tell me reveal your name, Shadow Sorceress.
I'm Cloud Bouncins.
What? Bouncins? Honestly, that kind of sounds a little porn star namey. A little bit.
Is it because of the bouncins?
I think so.
Not everything that bounces are boobs.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like from my limited exposure to porn star names, I feel like having a last name that can be a verb, it feels kind of like that to me. I'm
Bounce Clouds.
That's just an AU of Cloud, and he's on a trampoline, living his best life with Sephiroth and Aerith and all the other characters. In this universe, Sephiroth is just a kind young man.
He's just a guy.
What?
Something about he's just a kind young man. Like, you sound like you're a grandpa, like you're 80 years old. You are a young man.
I guess. No, okay, so I have a discussion question that wouldn't really fit in the main episode. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The 5 main characters of Tropical Rouge, what Easter candies do you associate them with? Or Easter foods, I guess.
Asuka likes the Whoppers malted milk eggs.
Okay. What associates in your mind between the two? Is there like a particular reason?
They're not overly sweet, but they're still like candy and they're still good. And also they're my dad's favorite, and she's got dad energy. She's very serious.
Yeah, fair enough.
Laura likes the pastel M&Ms.
Okay, that's a really good one. I was going to say that she gets like, or maybe that's Manatsu. Maybe Manatsu gets like the giant like 3-pound Reese's bunny, and she just digs into town. She probably shares a little bit with her friends, but it's gone. It doesn't last like an hour. And then I think Sango, I'm going to go with like jelly beans of some variety.
I was going to say, she seems like a chewy candy sort of person. She doesn't seem like a chocolate person. She
has a certain quiet allure to her, quiet strength, cuteness. There we go. It's not like in-your-face cuteness. It's not like bright and like, ah, but it's there.
And Minori is raisins, because raisins are nature's candy.
I love that we're going to just subtly give Minori all kinds of shade throughout this series just because she's usually very quiet and her skill is like reading maps, drawing tables,
organizing,
Venn diagrams. Oh my god, imagine Minori with a Venn diagram and it's just like one circle is labeled like good ideas, and then the other circle is Manatsu's ideas.
You will notice that they do not touch.
They do not. They're 2 separate circles.
Manatsu, I have drawn you a Venn diagram.
Oh, and I think that's been your mic test.
Beautiful. Hello, fellow adventurers. No.
Hey, we can go on an adventure if we want.
No.
No adventures, only fruits, which are a metaphor.
And they do sparkle.
Oh, crap. Give me 1 second.
Joel discovers we weren't recording this whole time.
Joel discovers he still had Minecraft open and didn't want to be killed by a skeleton while we were talking about Easter. All right, so now that we have the 4 PreCures, they decide that they're going to have their club. Do we want to go talk to the cat, see if she's okay?
It's fine, I'm sorry.
Witty what? Hello and welcome to the mic test.
You know, Joel, this is a mic test for Cure of the What Now, in which we are covering Tropical Rouge PreCure. But
From the very beginning.
to me, it seems like you might be covering the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th season of PreCure because you're pretty fresh.
I thought Go-Go was the 5th season.
Yeah, because... Yeah, it's 6th because the one had a sequel, didn't it? Futari wa had a sequel season.
No, Go-Go was the 4th and 5th season. So there was Go-Go, and then the next one was like Go-Go Fresh or something. It had a sequel too.
Yeah, no, so I was counting, right? So Futari wa, and then there's the sequel to Futari wa, Max Heart.
Okay.
And then there's Splash Star, and I don't think Splash Star got a sequel.
No, it did not. And then Go-Go, and then Go-Go 5.
Yes, PreCure 5, then PreCure 5 Go-Go.
Oh, okay.
Then Fresh.
Gotcha.
So 6.
6th.
You're fresh.
But never sweetened. I don't know. I told you, I've been on mic saying that my brain does weird things. I thought that was a phrase, and when I said it and you gave me that look, I realized that is not a phrase that has ever been spoken by another human being.
I mean, you are a human being, and you just spoke it. You did say another human being.
So.
We
have... Do we have a name for the girls? Like, I guess we could just call them the girls, but like, if I say the Cures, that's only 4 of them.
The Tropical Club.
The Tropical Club? Does Laura count? Is she a member? Okay.
Does Laura count? Why don't you ask Laura if Laura counts?
Because her answers are slightly biased. Slightly biased.
I don't know there's any evidence of that.
Okay, but my point is, there's 5 members of the Tropical Club at this moment. There were also 5 Spice Girls. So, do you, as one of the Spice Girls' biggest fan back in the day, want to tell me which of the Tropical Club members map onto which of the Spice Girls?
No, I'm a little alarmed because I was the Spice Girls' biggest fan when I was 6 years old. So I will try my hardest.
Okay, so I don't even know. There's Posh, Sporty, Scary.
Right.
Do you know the other ones?
Baby.
Oh, yeah, Baby. And?
Posh Spice, Sporty Spice, Scary Spice, Baby Spice.
Sweet! Sadistic! Sister!
You're gonna name the one, and I'm gonna be like, oh, her! How did I forget her?
Let's see. Scary Spice, Sporty Spice. Oh, Ginger Spice.
I was about to say Ginger.
Why? Just because
she's the only redhead.
Okay, fine.
So I guess not Akira.
Asuka.
Asuka.
What
is Ginger Spice.
Yeah, seems like it.
Coral's gotta be Baby, right?
Fine, Coral can be Baby. Who's Scary Spice? Laura?
Yeah.
Okay. Which leaves, hang on, Posh Spice and
Sporty Spice. Obviously, Manatsu is sporty, and
Posh has to be Minori.
Yeah, I mean, part of being posh can be being a little reserved, a little hold back.
I mean,
maybe
Minori is Baby Spice, and Coral, as the makeup girl, is Posh Spice.
Okay.
That is what posh means, right?
Yeah, like fancy.
Okay, yeah. I want these mic tests to be a little bit longer, but I just don't want to sit here and just talk about
Yeah, but at the same time,
things.
The point of a mic test is just to test the mic, right? So why would we make them long?
For the Patreons. For the patrons. You need to say that, and then okay. And then 1 second, and it's one of these tabs. There we go. I'm good.
Are we talking silence?
Yeah. Oh. No. Please start is what I'm trying to say. I didn't want you to introduce yourself while I was clicking around on the computer. So now that I've gotten to the right tab, you can start.
We've gotten the silence. You've gotten to the right tab. We are set to jet.
Yeah, we did the mic test, remember? When we do the mic test, we take the silence and we apply that silence.
Oh, I thought you took silence twice.
No.
Oh.
Go on. I'm Chet You Betcha. I'm Chester the Cheetah.
I'm going to beg you to be silent. Various clothes taking off sounds.
You really should have stripped before the podcast.
Whatever, shut up. I'm not getting naked. I'm just taking off a sweater.
I know.
When this inevitably ends up in the bloopers and extras.
Okay.
Put the coin down.
I will not. It's part of my tragic backstory.
Also, if you're going to watch Toku, I highly recommend choosing your season based on how sexy you find the suit.
Okay, that's very interesting information.
Sorry. Do you want me to rephrase
Just gonna go to Amazon here and gonna check out some adult costumes for various seasons of... No, don't worry about it. I totally get it. It's a king thing. Absolutely. Oh, baby, check out my drill machine.
Stop, no.
That was what Akito's machine was called, right?
That's something like that.
Hello, and welcome to the mic test. Is that really quiet? Do I need to turn the gain up a little bit?
Maybe.
Why is it so low? Probably because of the buzzing sound.
Is it using the right
Yeah.
Okay.
USB audio codec. So in honor of the bento box episode, I want to make something very clear. You don't have to do it based off of the colors, and you don't have to just focus just on fruit. But what flavor would you associate with each of the cures if you were going to make like a PreCure themed snack plate or something?
Flamingo gives me big sorbet vibes.
Okay.
You know, like those rocket ship popsicles.
Okay, I could see that.
I don't know that you can meal prep that into a bento box, but that's
well, I'm
the
not
flavor.
saying in a bento box.
That's the flavor I feel for her. And then, maybe like honey biscuits for
which one?
Minori.
Okay, yeah, I
was
that.
getting to it. It took me a minute to remember her name. I'm having trouble thinking of something for Cure Sango. What flavor do you associate with
Cure
her?
Sango?
Whatever, man.
I don't know. I said you don't have to constrain it to just colors, but I don't know. The first thing that came to mind was like grapefruit.
Cotton
I'm
candy.
not doing very... Cotton candy would be excellent. Yeah.
Are there cute foods? Like tiny foods, maybe? Like a little tiny cupcake?
Yeah, I was about to say just like a cupcake would be probably pretty good. Maybe I associate Sango with just like frosting in general. Just kind of like candy flavors. That's not really specific, but that's kind of what I'm getting.
Okay.
Maybe white chocolate for Sango.
Okay.
And what flavor do you have for Manatsu?
Popcorn. But with like Reese's Pieces and pretzels and chocolate chips, all of the stuff mixed
Okay, so
in.
like a kind of a trail mix confetti explosion of different flavors.
When I was a kid and I would go to the movie theater, I would get a big bucket of delicious salty popcorn and I would pour my, I used to get snow caps, which are like chocolate chips dipped in white sprinkles. I would pour those into the popcorn or I would pour M&Ms into the popcorn. And let me tell you, a handful of salty popcorn and chocolate at the same time is the ultimate taste combo.
Okay. Do you have a flavor prepared for Laura?
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum is pretty good, yeah. So I'm going to run down my list. I think that I would associate Manatsu with like a smoked meat, something that you make on like the grill or the barbecue. I think that we already covered Sango could be different types of candy. Also, Manatsu would also work excellently for Skittles, but that also just kind of feels more like I'm going just because it's a tropical show and, you know, they're rainbow colored, that kind of thing. For Minori, I'm thinking something kind of plainish, so I'm thinking maybe like a coconut cookie or a coconut crispy of some sort, or maybe she could be like mint chocolate chip, which is not a flavor that I personally find agreeable, but I think, you know, could fit her pretty well.
Plain rice.
Plain rice with a hint of salt, but not too much. And Asuka.
Beer.
Beer's not bad.
I don't actually know what beer tastes like.
Okay, you've smelt it, at least.
That's
Like,
true, yeah. It just feels like an adult thing, and she feels like the adult of the team.
Is there any other food that I think I would associate with her? I really can't think of anything in particular, so yeah, I think I'm just going to have to agree with your sorbet kind of option. And this might be mermaid discrimination, but for Laura, just, you know, fish, salmon, or whatever.
Seaweed. Nonbu.
What's that?
I think nonbu is how you say seaweed when you're talking about, like, the edible kind.
Did you want to check on the animals? See what happened?
Do you remember when I said no cats in our bedroom because they'll eat my Kamen Rider belt?
Was that the bedroom?
Hello, and welcome to Cure of the What Now? Do you remember what I said the intro was going to be?
Yeah, hello, bento box preppers.
Oh, novice chefs. That's right.
Yeah. We have also covered that in our previous episode.
Have we?
We have. Yeah.
Well, maybe this is an episode that somebody's listening to for the first time.
Yeah, I get it. This is all going to get cut anyways. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the mic test. And I'm Joel.
I'm Kat.
Excellent. We've been watching Vivi and Pretty Boy Detective Club. I would say that you've been watching Pretty Boy Detective Club because I only have seen like clips when you were watching and I happened to be in the room. So, which member of the Tropical Club is most likely to be an AI, and which one is most likely to be a pretty girl detective?
Manatsu.
Wait, hang on, sorry, I need to amend. Which two members of the Tropical Club are likely to be the robot that doesn't understand emotions and the time-traveling AI from the future who sasses everyone?
Minori for AI.
Okay.
Laura for her time-traveling sass ball.
Sass master. Okay. And then which girl is most likely to be a pretty girl detective?
Manatsu.
Okay. How come?
I mean, look at the rules. There are 3 rules. Be pretty.
They're all pretty.
Be a boy, girl.
Well, yeah, okay, be a girl.
Be a detective. And what is being a detective but becoming tropical?
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were going to say, what is a detective but solving the mystery, the most important mystery that you can solve right now, the murder of the butler. So that's absolutely correct. I also, due to the way that Vivi and Matsumoto, is that his name? But the way that they interact, I also like Asuka as the AI who is trying to understand feelings and Laura as the sassy robot from the future.
Also good.
Okay.
Please remove yourself.
If you were to make the girls cyborgs, and like one part of them had to be kind of like obvious machine, like an arm cannon or a jetpack or laser eyes, what would you give to the different girls?
Okay, so Minori gets laser eyes.
Well, yeah, that fits her theme. Perfect.
Obvious. Asuka gets like super robot jump legs with like jets on them.
Oh, yeah, okay. Like kind of like maybe springy legs too would be pretty good. Really quickly. Uploading all the fruit. Fruit.exe is running.
That's beautiful.
Okay, let's see. Asuka, I think she gets a sick cannon arm as her obvious robot part. And then who does that leave? Sango also gets really brightly colored robot eyes. They don't shoot lasers, but they're really good at analyzing and they can like zoom and enhance and take photos and stuff.
She can make a plasma shield.
I love it. And Laura just gets a little repeller at the end of her tail that makes her go real fast. She goes boom.
Laura's just a submarine.
And her torpedoes are shaped like Peruroon.
Imagine a talking submarine named Laura, and it's just an asshole.
That evades taxes, of course. Now, before we start this episode, does Pete... I said that he was a special guest last episode. Did you invite him onto the show this week?
I did not, but he can talk in the mic test if he'd like to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, guys. It's a shame that you didn't want to invite me onto this episode, but I understand. It gets a little hard to edit with 3 voices, and, you know, I tend to agree with Joel on a lot of things, so it kind of, it weighs the distribution in his favor.
Look, Pete, you're always welcome on. I'm just worried the bit will get tired if we keep doing it.
I'm like a special guest that you only break out on special occasions. Exactly. I understand.
It has to be when I'm least expecting it, so Joel can really get my legitimate...
Your honest-to-God reaction, like how they do with Daddy Sex Bang in Ninja Sex Party. We don't rehearse this. They do this to me every concert. That's been your mic test.
Sango putting on the mask. You can wear the mask.
I don't think she names you specifically. You had the first 5 episodes were about meeting the different cures, and there was one in there with Laura and Manatsu. And then the next 3 episodes, 6, 7, or 4, wait, hang on. Yeah, okay, anyways. Hoard those fruits. Keep them. Don't let anyone lay a hand on your fruits.
Hello, and welcome to the mic test. My name is Kat.
I'm Jimmy John.
Jimmy John. So Jim John, as you know, it is Mermaid.
Of course.
So it's a month of celebrating Laura specifically as the ultimate mermaid.
Ultimate Mermaid! Danganronpa music starts to play. Yes?
Exactly, yes. I knew you would take it in that direction. So, in the spirit of Mermaid, what is your ideal mermaid mythos? Tell me about what you think of mermaids as fantasy creatures.
This is a sudden question. I don't really think about mermaids too much. You basically have they are the sexy women who wear very little clothing and are very good at kissing and physical affection, or they're horrendous monsters that drag you to the bottom of the sea and feast upon your soul. Now, out of those two, I don't like scary stories, and I kind of do, on occasion, enjoy sexy stories, so I think that I would lean towards the first one.
Okay, let me ask you this. First of all, do you know what a selkie is?
Vaguely?
Okay, so a selkie is a creature that is a seal when it's in the water, but when it comes out of the water, it can take the seal skin off, and it's a beautiful woman.
Okay.
So what I was going to ask was, do selkies count as mermaids? Are they like some kind of flavor of mermaids, or are they their own thing?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, sirens are, in my mind, a different version of a mermaid. So, like, anything that can take a beautiful woman form, but also lives in the water would mostly count.
Okay, so I kind of like the selkie version of mermaids. I like the idea that there's, like, a thing that they can put on that turns them into the aquatic creature. Because you get into interesting storylines with, like, well, what if they lose it, or what if someone steals it, or...
Okay. I like it. We try to come up with something interesting for the viewers to listen to, so I have, on occasion, thought about writing fantasy stories, and one through line that exists in my mermaids, again, they're a little bit closer to gorgeous women than they are horrendous monsters, but the mermaids of my imaginary universe, they basically worship dragons, or they revere dragons as, like, the ultimate being type of thing, and so sometimes if dragons just want to be worshipped as celebrities, they just hang out on one of these islands, and the mermaids are just like, yeah!
The mermaids are all over it, absolutely. One of my headcanons for the mermaids in my universe, when I write about them, is that they're like whiptail lizards. They don't need men to have babies.
Ah, okay.
Because I think
how does that work, really quickly, for anyone at home who hasn't Googled whiptail lizards?
Whiptail lizards pretty much just lay eggs and babies come out. It's kind of like cloning. Because the babies are a genetic clone of the mom. Ladybugs can do it too.
Oh yeah, it's like asexual breeding, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my mermaids lay eggs.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Another thing about my mermaids is that they typically give birth to, I don't know if litter is the right term when you're talking about sentient beings that can talk like humans, but they more commonly give birth to, like, twins or triplets or quadruplets. And also, I very much love the 4-element system of fire, water, wind, and earth. With some exceptions, you always got to add in light and darkness and stuff.
And lightning and ice. Lightning's the coolest element there is.
Clearly. But basically, most people in my universe have one of the 4 basic, and then some very special OCs get the extra fun magics. But a fire mermaid is less common, first off, among their people, and is more likely to have only twins, and it's less likely that they would have bigger families every time that they get pregnant. And then water tend to have larger families, and it's rare for them to give birth to just twins. So
no, that makes sense. What I was going to say was that I think a lot of the time mermaids are kind of conceived as like an all-female kind of like Themyscira or the Amazons. Yeah. Whatever. And so that was kind of the inspiration for them being whiptail lizard-esque.
Yeah.
But my explanation for mermen, because whiptail lizards, there's a like related species of lizards that they can breed with.
Okay.
To introduce genetic diversity. So I think mermen come from like interbreeding with other races. Basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
We say races. We're using that in the fantasy term. We mean species.
Yeah.
It's like one of those dumb pet peeves of mine that I still fall into all the time.
Okay. Do you think that writers should start referring to them as species?
Personally, I do. I think that they tend away from that. A, because a lot of contemporary fantasy is very heavily Tolkien and D&D inspired, but B, because species sounds very clinical.
Yeah,
and
well,
especially,
and I think technically things from different species can't breed together, right? Like a liger is sterile, and a lion and a tiger are considered different species. So we need a new term that we use only for fantasy writing that means can produce offspring, but are different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know what you would call that, but yeah.
Do you think the Tropical Club will get mermaid transformations?
Either they get mermaid transformations or Laura gets a human transformation, I think is how it has to go. Maybe Laura gets a human transformation, and then at the end of the series, there's a moment where she can choose to stay with Manatsu, or she can go back and be queen of the mermaids, and that's their big tearful goodbye.
That breaks my heart. I could see Manatsu going to live under the sea, but I don't think the other three would.
Well, and I think what Manatsu will say to Laura when that happens is being the mermaid queen is how you Tropica shine. Like, you have to go back and we'll always be friends, and it'll be horrible and sad and we'll all cry. But that's how I think it's going to go.
And then we get a flash forward 30 years in the future and Manatsu has somehow become a scientist despite all odds. And she's like, with this one, vaccine, with this one drug
injection.
Thank you. I think that's the term I was looking for. But we humans can briefly become mermaids. Mm-hmm. I just think that people have pointed out that sometimes they kind of foreshadow future seasons of PreCure in previous seasons. So in Star Twinkle, they had an episode where I can't remember if it was magic or science, but they were able to briefly become mermaids. And so I can't see how that wouldn't be a thing that we would get in this season.
Absolutely. And that sounds like good discussion for the actual episode. So I'm going to say that's been our mic test.
Absolutely.
Hello, fellow... Oh, fuck. What was I going to say?
Stop swearing on mic.
No, we're not going to keep this in, so it doesn't matter.
You were going to do dropouts, I think.
Thank you. This is a present for future Joel. Your wife is here and she loves your butt. Do, we're recording still. I assume you didn't press stop, but maybe you did, and I'm singing for nothing. Doop, doop, a doop, doop, a doop, a dee doop.